Hi guys, how you doing? Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video, which is going to be a John Lewis come shop with me today. I haven't done one of these in a while, but it might be last week for all that I know. It wasn't. But yeah. First off though, if you're new, hi, welcome, my name is Matt, welcome to my channel. Please take a moment to subscribe, it's free, there's no cost to you for doing so. Just click that button down below and ring my bell to be notified of when I upload. If you like a come shop with me like we're doing today, too good to go bag occasionally, grocery haul, other haul, all different kind of come shop with me. We tend to do H&M, Primark, Zara, Vista Village, try and do those at least once a month, and then are splattered with loads of other different come shop with me's throughout the video. So if this is your kind of thing, then you'll want to subscribe. But as I said, today's video is going to be a John Lewis come shop with me today, which is a department store in the UK, which is where I am located. And I was in central Milton Keynes recently, which is where they have, you know, a very sizable John Lewis. It is only, well, 2 and a bit floors, but you know, it's a good selection and it has an okay men's department, and it is the only, if we're not counting M&S, I wouldn't count M&S. I suppose it is kind of being like a department store recently, and so is Next these days. And I wouldn't say Primark's a department store, although if you strip back the definition of a department store, it is like a store that has departments. And I mean, most stores have departments, but you know, John Lewis is the only one that's really left in Milton Keynes in terms of like a proper big department store. When you're thinking about like Debenhams is gone for everybody, House of Fraser is gone for a lot of places, and that was the only 2 other ones they had anyway. But yeah, it is really, and I think better not go from Milton Keynes because that would be such a blow, because it's like the biggest store in the centre, and you know, it's always busy in there. There's loads of people always in there. But yeah, without further ado, let's have a look around. I don't know why I went a bit West Country. I'm not even from the West Country. Although I think ancestor wise I might be. Ancestor, you know, I think my grandparents were on one side, or grandma was, or something. But anyway, that is completely off on a tangent. We are going to look around John Lewis to see what's new in for autumn for menswear. Let's go. Here we go into John Lewis in the side entrance, up the escalators to the men's section on the first floor. And we are going to turn this way and go down to the Barbour selection that they had. Here we have got like a jumper, which is like embossed, debossed, more of a sweatshirt than jumper, and they've got the classic, you know, were they wax jackets? Something like that. And then you've got the quilted jackets. Polo shirt wise, that's what you're looking at. And they've got gilets and other bits there. I would say that was Barbour International, which is kind of like, would you say, diffusion brand of Barbour. And then you've also got like main Barbour line as well, like this bit here. This is a nice knitted, am I not even going to show you it? There we go, knitted, oh my god, what is that called? A jumper. There we go. Well, that was a nice t-shirt. I quite like the stripes on that, but $44.95. No thanks. You can go to the outlet and get one cheaper at the Barbour outlet. Next, we're going to have a brief look in Ralph Lauren. They've got, you know, Ralph Lauren doesn't really change much designs in like the classic style, but you do sometimes get a bit more polo and stuff, other bits that are different. Over here we have got, I believe this was like John Lewis' own brand, but a lovely, what is that called? Rugby shirt, and we've got like a knitted jumper here. Really nice, bit pricey, but really nice nonetheless. Less. Then I beelined for Fred Perry. I love a bit of Fred Perry. Saw this really nice striped t-shirt here. You know, it's going to be pretty pricey, and that's got some nice piping on it. It's going to be pricey when it's Fred Perry. All the brands in here are pricey. I didn't clean my lens of the camera, did I? We've got Gant over here as well. Other Fred Perry bits. Nice jumper, well, sweatshirt. I say jumper a lot for sweatshirt, but it's a sweatshirt. And I think, what brand was that? I can't remember off the top of my head. But then this is the Any Day collection, which is more my price range, although it's still in some respects a bit more expensive. But t-shirts around £10. This really nice jacket, I believe was 45. And then we've got a nice jumper here. And like very much my colour palette. I love that colour. And we got like another jumper, and then we've got this like fleece, fluffy fleece here, which they have in a range of different colours. Nice jacket up there. Yeah, I think if you're looking for a budget range, I say budget loosely, budget in terms of John Lewis, then have a look at Any Day. They've got some staples in here, £10 t-shirt, there you go. And then a little look at Levi's. I really like this like striped denim jacket. And then just a plain brown one as well. So that was a look around John Lewis. They had a lot of jackets, which what a surprise, everywhere has jackets. And actually, and they've really like organised it since I've been in there last. They've like moved some of the concessions around. Not really had a spruce up, but they have moved some of the concessions around a tiny bit. And they've got, I would say, I can't remember seeing the Any Day collection in that John Lewis, but I haven't really been in that John Lewis properly in a while. The last one I went to was Oxford, I think, but they have got like a proper Any Day range. If you don't know what the Any Day range is, it's like John Lewis's essentials, like basics collection. I'm not going to say it's the inexpensive, because it's not really, it's not like Primark or something, but it is not as expensive as like the John Lewis collection, which is like, you know, more expensive. Any Day is own like John Lewis brand, but it's meant to be the same John Lewis, same John Lewis quality at a value price, basically, kind of thing. So they had that, and I wouldn't say that is cheap by any what is that phrase? Any stretch of the imagination. It, like, their jackets were like 45 quid, but they did have a nice one, but they were like £45 or something around that price. And so you're not expecting like a cheap store, although they did have, I think their t-shirts were around the £10, if not maybe £8. So, you know, that is on par with some of the stuff in Primark these days. So yeah, the quality should be better. Although in terms of the kids stuff that I've bought, like mainly for, not for myself, but like for nieces and nephews in there, I would say Any Day is not as good quality as like the John Lewis own brand in terms of kids clothes. Just bearing that in mind. It's not as good quality as that, but there we go. I've not bought anything for myself from any of those ranges in John Lewis. The John Lewis own brand and then Any Day brand, I've not bought anything in there. I would say this John Lewis does not have an all bin section. The one in Wickham does, but this one doesn't, and I think the one in the one in Oxford does as well. Don't know why the one in Milton Keynes doesn't. It would be a perfect fit, I think. All-bin, if you don't know, I have done a come shop with me on all-bin recently. Not recently, I think it was last year, or maybe no, I think it was last year. All-bin is basically All-bin and Wills, if you remember that brand from back in the day. They have revitalized themselves. All-bin and Wills was always like Jack Wills's like older brother, I suppose, in terms of brands. And they were owned by the same company at that point. All-bin is now no longer associated with Jack Wills. It is, I believe, still run by, like, they revived the brand 2 or 3 years ago, from the founder of Jack Wills, who obviously founded All-bin and Wills originally. And then Jack Wills was obviously sold to Mike Ashley and the Frasers Group, as it's called now, Sports Direct. All-bin, it's not called All-bin and Wills anymore. It's just called All-bin to, like, I suppose, disassociate, in my opinion, disassociate themselves with the Jack Wills part of the old brand. Although their Instagram handle is still at All-bin and Wills. And I believe All-bin is, like, has some kind of backing from Next, because they stock it through Next, but they stock it through John Lewis. But so does some of the other brands that Next, like, part owns, like, is associated with. Like joint ventures, like they own a significant stake in Reese these days, and they own a significant stake in Jules as well. But that's another complete tangent. I would like to, basically that whole tangent was, I'd like to see All-bin in John Lewis in Milton Keynes. That is what I'd like to see, because I don't think I saw it. We had the usual brands like All Saints. I don't think there was any new brands in particular, but you had like Burberry. No, we did not. Barbour, All Saints, Ralph Lauren, obviously, Ted Baker, Reese, Tommy Jeans, Fred Perry, that kind of stuff. But nothing else of any note, really. There was no more brands than normal, and they didn't really reorganize the space to kind of move stuff around and put diagonal bits in. But anyway, that was my little come shop with me around John Lewis. Let me know if you bought anything in John Lewis recently in the, I was going to say description, in the comment section. It's been a long day, guys, and I've done like nearly 2 hours of work after work as well on my course, and I'm filming this at like 9 o'clock, and then gonna need to upload and edit it and get it out for tomorrow. I might have to slow down a bit because I've got an assignment due. But yeah, it's by the by. But anyway, if you're not already, please take a moment to subscribe. It's free, there's no cost to you for doing so. Just click that button down below and ring my bell to be notified of when I upload. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye.
No, man, I still go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day.